Hello. Uh, Sorry for the late start. I was trying to find just start here, but I was doing other stuff. Uh, so how it's gonna go is I'm gonna do just the astrologian quest, and then that's be it for today. Might even cut it off early if I don't feel so up to it. I have good news. Bad and bad news. The good news is preparations for the symposium on Charlian astrology has been proceeding smoothly, as we have expected. As we had expected, counted any very little resistance from the vault. They have even gone to the trouble of securing us a spacious venue for the event. Let me adjust my mic for a moment. Alright, I think that's better. Hello. Alright. The bad news is the spacious venture is question lies in Falcon's Nest. Lest you wonder, I speak of the same fringed buildings. Building sites in the middle of nowhere. And you will doubtlessly have heard so many good things about, yes, my friend, that Falcon's Nest. Yet I suppose this may be a blessing in disguise. I am not certain that the blessing may be. Perhaps we shall all make for the hamlet and see. Let's see if this guy's still, like, hoity-toity. They don't see the practical applications of this. All they see is the weird draconic ones. Depending on how I feel, I may end early or go further. Because it is 12. I started at 12. Which is even later than I usually start. But it happens. What's the spear you have? Yep. The Law and Order spear. Law's Order. I might not stream tomorrow though. Or today. Later today. Don't know how I feel fully. Excuse me. Greetings, Gudrak. Gudrak, it appears that not only is our symposium to be held in a tiny hamlet miles away from civilization, crawling with people who cannot even spell astrology, let alone grasp how it works, but that no one in the whole town has even been informed of our arrival. The three of us have been spending the last spell speaking with whomever will listen. Invite them to attend the event, as so at least we won't be speaking to an empty form. Oh, worry not, my friend. We have saved the Northern District just for you. Wink. I don't get why you winked. Shalom. Astrology? Astrology? Oh, you're a heretic? Because you're talking like one that's only... like one. There's only one kind of astrology in this god, and it ain't the Harton kind. Considering you are a unbeliever, I suppose the knights might allow you to yarp and yamper, but cause too much commotion, you'll be disappeared like the other lad. Now, when was that? Bloody heretics? Bloody heretics. An outsider and his wounds look deep. Is there a cutter nearby? An addiction. What is this? Sorcery? My wounds, they neck themselves. Are you a healer, adventurer? If so, I have another request for you. There were others in my scouting party? No, different voice. Older man. There was others in my scouting party. You were all wounded. Some of us were gravely than others. I feel that my fellow knights may be in grave danger. Would you seek them out and tend to them as you did me? I will report to Sir Redwall, for fear that by the time he can muster reinforcements, several men will have perished. Did you see his wounds, lad? Did you see his wounds, lad? If the poor bugger was it only one of his party to make it back to Falcon's Nest, I shuddered the condition of the others. Must hurry, healer, or the wolves will eat well tonight. I don't know what kind of voice I'm trying to do for that guy. It's probably doesn't really matter because he's NPC sidekick. Like even like he's a minor character. Weird old man. Wait, what to do? Shit, I want to do the tribe quest. I'm just gonna do it in this one at the end. Because why not? Depending on what time it is. I'm sure I'm only go for an hour today. There we are. I should summon and eat some food. 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 Battle manual. Here you go, Caladarius. Cal. Wild-eyed mage. Gravity. How did you? It is as if I were never dealt a single blow. What manner of magic do you wield, friend? Astromancy, but I thought the stars serve only to grant us sight into the Horde's movements. Why are there no more astrologians in the field? You and your companions are in Falcon's Nest to discuss the very topic? Perhaps I can persuade others in the garrison to attend. Now I must hurry back to the hamlet. My captain will want a full report of the day's happenings. Fly, you fools! See, I just need to do Bard and then
And then Heavensward stuff is after that. Just 5 quests.
Where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been? When you did not return, we visited the northern gates and found the area astray with night's activity. Astray? You left the hamlet to aid wounded knights, scouts? You could have been killed or eaten. Or killed then eaten. How? Or eaten then killed? What is this? You say your display of astronauty has impressed the knights? Into intending other events. This may work to our advantage. If the knights began clamoring of astrologians to be assigned to their ranks, then the sea might just listen. Let us find these good men and inform them of that the symposium is about to commence. Balls! Hoarfrost and balls. Not a single person came. I told you this was a terrible plan. Use the confusion from the jam-packed symposium to approach the target. She says, you'll have her out of the hamlet before her companions even know she's gone, she says. Even a blind babe could have seen that no one would gather for a talk on astrology in the middle of swaying. The astrologian who tended to my wounds. Are you? As you see, both me and my fellow knight must made swift recoveries thanks to your wonderful magics, of course. The reinforcement garrison never arrived. Yes, I spoke with Sir Wolfred myself. Perhaps he felt there was no need for reinforcements after I convinced him what a able healer you were. Yes, that's it. That is most certainly the reason, yes. And as much as we would like to attend, the captain has already assigned us to another mission. I apologize to you and your companions. Perhaps we can make the next symposium. Carry on then. That is it. Well, that is that then. The vault wins. Do not think of it such, Lady Levivan. Levivan. This is but one hurdle we must leap. The vault wants us to stop and turn around, and they will continue placing hurdles before us until we do. But we cannot let that discourage us. We must carry on until we reach our destination, or they run out of hurdles. You cry, hurdles. You cry over hurdles. You know not how lucky you are. Did you come for the symposium? No, I wasn't. I wouldn't let anyone see me at the gathering. I'd be branded a heretic and sent to witch drop or worse. They'd just spit my name, my throat, and toss me out to the beasts, like as they did to the other astrologian of the old world. The other astrologian? When was this? When you reach my age, all summers melt together. My hair still has color. Still had color, so it must have been a less than a score. Mayhap more, mayhap less. There was an astrologian who was, but it was long ago. It could not have been anyone you knew. We cannot dwell on the past. We must find a way to interpret the cards we have been dealt, so that we may benefit the present, our present. No, we could not have been anywhere. No, it could not have been anyone I knew. I never had a chance to. You're right, Jacques Wisner. We mustn't let the vault or bandits or closed minds prevent us from achieving what we came here for. The SARS will prevail. Will point the way. And we will help the people of Isgard see that as well. Go, monkey! Donkey Kong!
First job quest I'm gonna do for the
Thingamaboob.
for Stormblood would.
Lady Leviven, Leveva did not take the old man's recollection of the slain astrologian well at all. I understand that hearing of a fellow colleague's death might unnerve anyone, but you would think she has lost her father. Oh, Jacques Quesner, what have you done? I will not live down these events. You see, the astrologian of whom the old man spoke. It so happens that I knew him well. His name was Rufin, and he was my friend and confidant. And when I studied in Charlian, my only friend, he followed me back to Ishgard when my stay in the city-state was cut short by the Exodus. His dream was to rekindle interest in the forgotten technique which gave rise to Ishgardian astrology. But this was a time when the Holy See was even more opposed to foreign ideas than they are now. That evening I discovered him bleeding at his bureau was one of the saddest in my life. But at the hour of his death, Rufin remained strong, and he made me promise that I would not let his dream fade because of closed minds. Not that he's gone particularly well thus far. Yet perhaps if we reached a greater accords with the stars, they will too show us the way A forward? Yes. That sounds like. The vault. The vault went and outdid them. The vault went and outdid themselves. The location of our next symposium, the convocation. A makeshift camp for a band of bickering knights. I've spoken at length with Lady Leveva about how we must handle this second inconvenience, so as not to meet the same fate we did in Falcon's Nest. I fear the worst, but Lady believes that we must be approaching at this all wrong, that we will embrace the situation and use it to our advantage. I believe she's merely unaccustomed to the thin alpine air, and her wits are not in order. Perchance we should make for the camp and see for ourselves.
Falcon Punch! Here we are.
I arrived not moments ago to find this. What in the fear's name has happened here? Tread lightly, Gudrak. This is not the work of bandits. Queen Crown's harm was dealt by the convectors. You were assaulted by the men sworn to protect us. This is madness. The vault led the knights to believe that a party of astrologians would be arriving to aid them in scrying the location of the horde's next attack. They took out their frustration at poor Queen when they learned I can foretell the whims of the dragon. And it's about as well as I can and those of Jacques Stir. But no, we must not let this discourage us. If word has no weight with these men, then let us magics do the pack talking. You're an astrologian? You can't heal people. That's not what astrologians do. The pain? It's gone. How did you... My wounds. It is as if they were never there. Wait, who's going to believe that I slew a dragon if I don't have wounds to show for it? I don't know whether to thank you or slit your throat, though I suppose I wouldn't be able to do either if you didn't heal me. But those queer magics, so this day I see fit to forgive you.
That's a weird man.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Soon it will be over. Ah, better, better. You. What is wrong, Leviva? Have you tapped too deeply into your mental reserves? Perhaps you should take a moment of respite. The blood is not the knight's. The loyal lapdog. Without you to state the obvious, where would your master be, pray tell? You again. One might think these markings would betray my identity, but you Eorzeans have a singular capability to look without seeing. I am amazed you are not constantly wandering into bonfires or off cliffs. I have grown weary of this masquerade, and I am done with entrusting my fate to this realm's bumbling mercenaries. My name is Salai, and I am here to take my Lady Leveva into custody so that she can be transported back to Charlian and tried for her crimes. Taken into custody? On whose authority? You are here without permission of the Forum, performing arts which amounts to treason. Your grandfather has already been detained and questioned. I am giving you the opportunity to turn yourself in and put an end to this farce once and for all. Do so, I say, and no one will be harmed, yourself included, Lady Leveva. But Lady Leveva, I thought you and your grandfather were dispatched on the official expedition. It seems that Leveva has not told you everything. Did you know that it was her father who was killed nearly 15 summers past? 15 summers. Jacques Quisner, your adventurer friend, seems already to have put two and two together. Why he didn't tell you earlier, I cannot fathom. Which would be... What else are they? Leave you out of Jacques Quinner der Durender. But silence! This is my final warning. When you see me again, you will either give yourself up or you will die at my blade. Think on it, Leveva. Kudrak, Lady Leveva's wounds is deep. I do not believe I can heal it on my own. Lend me your aid. Thank you, my friends. For someone who claimed she was hired to bring me back to Charlene, her aim was quite true. Lady Leveva, this Salai claims that you are not here with the blessing of the Forum. Is that so? Why did you not see fit to mention this? My grandfather knew the Forum would never allow us to come to Ishgard, and that their contemplation of the matter was merely a tactic to stall and discourage us. The stars have spoken to my grandfather, and he was not able to turn a deaf ear to them. I kept silence because I did not wish to let the petty politicking of men, thousands of moms to the north, stand in the way of our dream to spread the word of Charlian astrology. And such was my father's dream until he was killed for it by a closed-minded peasant. But Rufin never once spoke ill of those he wished to enlighten. Even at his end. How did you know my father's name? Your father and I were close friends when I was in Charlian. When the Exodus forced me to return home, he asked if he could accompany me, saying he has wished to try and convince those who once believed in Star's power to look to the skies once again. And we did for several moons. My countrymen were deeply skeptical and slow to warm to the idea. Hearten magics. Some were even rude, but he never gave up on them, right up until he was. I was there during your father's final moments. I heard a commotion come from his room late one night and went in to check, only to find him bleeding and slumped over his diary, where he was writing when he was attacked. With his last strength, he handed me the diary and asked that I did not blame my people, and I continued our work. I believe this belongs to you now. I don't know if I forgive those who killed my father. I do not expect you to forgive us yet, but I know that he did what, even at the moment of his death. Perhaps it will help you one day understand. You have always reminded me of Rufin, even before I knew he was your father. Your passion for your discipline equals his own, or you even may exceed it. Father, did you know the fate awaiting you in this realm? Did you see all this? Did the stars have you merely paved the way for me? If they did, then I shall not allow anyone to stand in your way. You are right, good man, and so I shall allow this breach of etiquette, but if you fail to address Lady Ileveva properly again, I have you spit-shine the privy back at Durindam Manor. Leave him be, Jacques Quisner, without Quimperin. Here I have been tied up and shipped back to the old world moons ago. The stars have him here with me. He is not going anywhere, and neither am I. I'm done with symposiums. That is not what my father wanted. He came here not to speak of astrology, he came here to use it. And so that is what I shall do. There are still many conductors who benefit from these magics. And that is what a better way to convince people of your greatness than by ensuring they remain alive long enough to sing your praises. Jean, will you tell me of my father? I will be delighted, my lady. Unless that is you mean now, as I have a prior engagement with a pair of lovely baronesses of House Desamer, and I will not wish to keep them waiting. Prior engagement, of course he has. I suppose my father's journal would have to suffice until then. To think that my old friend Ruthin may have been seen what grim fate awaited him in Ishkal, but chose to come anyways, knowing what it would inspire both me and his daughter. Gods, sometimes these celestial mechanisms are simply too grand and machinations are simply too grand in score to grasp. However, if it is as we believe, then we must, as Quim, Perrin so bluntly stated, make sure the art disrupts us on our path to that fate. Perhaps it is time I reveal to you a more powerful form of malefic, so that you may make these better, perhaps, the triers that are to follow. Now, the furrow upon your brow suggests you could have used the spare earlier in your training. In retrospect, I would be inclined to agree.
I'm just gonna give him a French accent, because why not? Still struggling to give him. I'm just giving him a weird French.
Very nice French accent. Malefic. I am happy to report that Leviva is fine and well, and hasn't been attacked by bandits, dastard curs, Shallian spies, or disgruntled knights. Once since her last encounter at Convictory, after restoring health to all the convictors as they must return to getting wounded again, her journeyed northwest into Slovenian Poland. If that journey was without incident, she would be in Tearfedenar, tending to Tokubo hunters there. Might I suggest that we go after her, Gudrak?
Give him a humble voice. Ha ha ha!
Gudrak, it is good to see you again. I pray you have not been neglecting your training. Now, you may be wondering why I chose Tailfeather of all places to visit next. Well, the truth of the matter is I did not choose it at all. It chose me. The hunters have somehow heard of what we have done in Convictory and placed a formal request to have me come and tend to the hamlet's wounded. I would like to believe that this proof and word of benefit of Charlene astrology is slowly but surely spreading throughout the realm, but enough talk. There are still many ailing souls that require succor. Would you and Jacques Quisner mind assisting me again? As you did in Western Highlands.
That's probably a trap. That bitch selling somewhere.
The pain. Oh, the pain. Don't know who you are, but you're good in my book. Praise the 12, I am healed. I do believe that that is everyone, at least for today. These men and women have chosen a horrendously dangerous profession. A chocobo's talons can rip open flesh to the bone, and a single kick can knock an otherwise hale hunter out for a sennight if he survives. Many of them seemed surprised, grateful of course, but surprised that we were here to help. Does the hamlet not have its own healers, or the Temple Knights not dispatch their hospitals this far from Nishkard? The Holy See only cares for the war with the dragons. It cannot be bothered with the helping of hunters, despite the fact that these hunters are its citizens. I was told on my arrival that they manage with makeshift poultices created using herbs gathered from around the hamlet. When the wounds are more severe, they turn to their sole barber who, well, is also the local butcher. I'm sorry, my frustration with the situation coupled with the day's efforts have me slightly drained. Might I be allowed a moment of respite? Quimperin, Gudrak, would you be so kind? Would you be so kind? Would you be so kind as to accompany the lady on her stroll? It would be far too long since it has been far too long since the Charlian assassin showed her face, and everything I conducted earlier this morning shows a day rife with conflict and confusion.
Two more after this. Going a lot faster than I thought.
I'm glad you came, Gudrak. There is something important I must tell you. Since Jacques Wilner gave me my father's journal, I have since spent my nights poring over his writing, trying to piece together what I could about his life. It appears he was hard-working and just. He trusted all and truly wanted to help people in need. He believed the knowledge should not be hoarded, like food, but shared amongst the intelligently starved. He also knew that there was those who would see him stopped. Persons who used their influence to trick and frighten the form into believing that knowledge should be kept at one's breast. Peoples who saw my father as a threat. His final few entries all speak of how he feared for his life, of how one man in particular was working to see him dead. Man's name is not important. Is not important. For in the end, it turns out your father was killed by the very people he was foolish enough to trust. People who, in their slaying of good men, prove that they are unworthy of knowledge. He freely offered, and now here you are making the same mistake as him. Continue with your foolishness, and you too shall face his fate, suffer his fate. Do not dare talk of my father as if you knew him. You know nothing. Your mind is as closed as the mind of those back in the old world who believe that hiding in their books will shield them from the pain and suffering of the real world. Such passion is a pity it remains misdirected. My employer only wishes to see you back safe in Ishgard. The foam recognizes your talent. You are an asset to our nation and its people. We would have you live a long and prosperous life, so that you may rise even higher than your father ever had the opportunity to. But we both know you are far too stubborn to take this gift so graciously offered. You will rather fight, and you know, as would I. No more games, Leveva. Let us end this. Here, right now, with your precious stars as our witness. Spare no one, not even the girl.
The Charlene tab mercenary. Oh, do you think because you bested me in the past, you can best the team now? Bested me in the past, you can do the same. This time I came prepared.
More! Light speed! You are right. I heard the commotion and came quickly as I came.
Not as quickly as these four. You remember the hunters we so gravely wounded no less than a bell ago. If memory serves me, they could barely lift a finger, let alone rushed headlong into a heated battle and helped turn the tide.
Don't be too hard on the silk shirt. Turns out we didn't need his help any road. Who'd have thought it? Real fighting. Real live fighting astrology. Now I truly have seen everything. However, I dare say, those men will not have risked their lives had they not they little respect for us or our craft. You are right. Our actions here have done more to promote Charlian astrology than any long-winded discourse. Why, I expected this very night the tale of your daring do's will be told 100 times over in mead halls across the foreland.
Which means it will not be long before the form has heard as well. We Charlians may have officially abounded this realm, but our ears remain. If the one who hired Salai is who I think it is, then I expect aught less than a formal edict of extradition will be issued. An edict of extradition? But Charlians have no power to force Ishkar to deliver you into their hands. Furthermore, what exactly it is you have done wrong, but allow others to partake in our great nation's bottomless well knowledge, as I have more than 50 summers ago when I studied in our halls. Uh, anything changed? Anything changed? Things changed after you left Jacques Quinner. Many even believed it was my father's death that tipped the scales in favor of closing Charlian's doors and locked away all of our knowledge. If the reform deemed it so, I could be arrested and imprisoned for the theft of national resources. And I see no reason why your Holy See, who has already shown its disdain for our efforts, would stand in its way.
So, what do we do? Your grandfather, your father, they have given up so much to see you here. We cannot just concede defeat. Now that we have finally begun to make headway. I never said we would, Jean. I have no intention of giving up or giving in. Doing so would be
to deny the sacrifice made by my father and grandfather. The stars have shown me the path I must take. That is no other, and in his beginning, back at Tailfeathers healing those who aided us. I will see the two of you in Ishgard once I have settled matters here. When Perrin will see I arrive unharmed.
Back to Ishgard. Behold.
Lady Leveva still has not returned from Tailfeather. Oh, but do not worry, I have had word that she simply intends to stay a few turns of the sun longer. What we should be worried about, however, is the form and their pending decision of our companion's extradition. The official edict is drafted. I fear we may find ourselves in the mercy of the vault, and if that were to happen, there will be little we can do to keep Leveva here, short of starting a war. If only we had more time. When I was studying in Charlian, I heard whispers of an ancient astromanic spell that would stop time and the very movement of the heavens. All of my professors denied it exists, of course. Word of Lady Leveva's charity has begun spreading. My friend, I have attended more than one luncheon where it was positively tripping off the tongues of all the lords and ladies. The knights, they have started rambling about my magic, about why magics does not only heal the wounded but also enhance the strength of the healthy and are not being employed to save the lives of those on the front lines. Needless to say, the vault is not amused. Their plan to have us fade into obscurity has rebounded upon them, and now they are scrambling to twist this situation to their advantage. Listen, Gudrak, the vault would have us officially attend an operation currently underway in the Western Highlands village of Hemlock. The settlement was abandoned after the calamity and has since been overrun with beasts of all manners. The Holy See seeks to reclaim it, and my uncle, the Count, has generously volunteered his knights to clear the area of any remaining threats. It is a win-win for the vault. The operation is small enough and far away from the capital that even if it succeeds, no one will pay it half a mind, but the vault will be able to say that they answered the pleas of the knights. If for any reason the operation were to fail, the vault would be able to attribute the failure to the astrologian presence and turn the high houses against Lady Leveva. I spoke with the lady about this, but she says she was not interested in the politics of the situation, only that it was her duty to aid people in need. We shall speak with her, and soon let us make haste to Hemlock.
Ah, yes. Now I understand. Because let's talk to you just in case. How's during their night? Oh, not good enough.
What I lack in healing talent, I shall make up with my blade.
There are wounded everywhere, Gojek.
We must help them. So this battle I never knew all the blood. We severely underestimate the strength of our enemies, and now my men and women find themselves overwhelmed. The tight wedges we have at the day's onset have all degraded into small notches of fighting, and the number of wounded is growing faster than our chaplains can heal them. Think the fury you've arrived when you did. Where am I? Where is my company? I must return to them. I shan't forget. This astrologian, I am forever in your debt. You have my thanks, but there must still be many who require succor. I'm here. I hear a woman screaming beyond this very boulder no moments before you arrived.
I see. What have we here? Sylvester? You who vow never to set foot in this barbarian's land again unless... Clever girl. Yes, it was I who hired Sly to bring you back to Charlian. And if you had come back with us quietly, you would be free right now, rather than a wanted criminal facing a trial, imprisonment, even execution. Depending on what you have told those tamed savages of yours. Yes, my dear, I offer you a chance and you foolishly refused it. The edict has been issued and I am here to correct you. Though I must place some of the blame. I must place some of the blame for that on our friend Sly. Had she not insisted on playing games, perhaps you would have displayed a reason back in the Black Shroud. Instead, she merely added fuel to the fire. Already hot with your inherent stubbornness. And now I am forced to make this journey to this filthy realm to clean up her mess. I suppose that starts with this companion of yours. Gudrek, take Jacques Quilnaire and leave right now. Neither of you are ready for magics of the variety he wields.
What was of you, my lady?
I am going to reclaim my father's journal. Brave, your father was brave. Your father is also dead.
Lady Levever.
Oh, I now understand Sly's frustration. This realm is truly overrun with vermin. Now, we suffer here for so long. How we suffered here for so long, I will never know. Very well, Levever, you leave me no choice. You may already know we have questioned the mace regarding your unauthorized passage into Eosia. What you may not know is that we still hold him in the dark cells. Just as a precautionary measure, of course. We may not want to see him flee again before the trial. Now your grandfather is not a spry as he used to be, and I am uncertain how long the sanity and old a man of his age will last in complete darkness. Though the longer you delay, the closer we come to finding out. If you wish to see your grandfather released, you will come to the abandoned city in the Dravanian hinterlands. There, my airship will be waiting to take you back to the old world where you shall be tried. Fairly, of course. I suppose you who could run, but know that doing so will have grave consequences for your grandfather, and possibly your mother as well, and we will still eventually find you. Wait, my father's diary.
He may still be close. Wait, here.
Sylvester. I knew it.
Lady Levever? Who was that? I have a strangest feeling I should know him from somewhere.
Sylvester, leader of the Bibliotecas, a powerful group of conservatives, fundamentalists who seek to control the whole of Charlene's knowledge. They believe that our people should not become involved in history, only be witness to it. They then analyze it until all lives lived and lost are but numbers on a page. You may remember Sylvester Jacques Quinard, because he is the self-same man who had pushed forward Charlene to batten its doors and had used my father's death as his rallying cry, and now I am certain that he had my father killed. Near the end of my father's diary, he mentions being contacted by a young Sylvester who happens to be an older classmate of his when they were both at the studium. Sylvester, looking to make a name for himself as a politician, warned my father against continuing to disseminate knowledge of Charlean astrology in Eorzea. A warning my father of course did not heed. Soon after, several attempts were made upon my father's life. When he subsequently looked into the matter, he discovered that there was a price on his head, and that Sylvester has put it there. I discovered a contract signed by the wretch folded in my father's journal. He had planned to reveal it to the form on his return, but he never had the chance. Jacques Questioner, my father gave you the journal before he died, but you never once opened it?
I did not think it was mine to read, but what you say, if it is true, we must get the journal back. Come. It seems the fighting died down. Let us report to the captain of the knights, then return to Ishgard so that we plan our next move.
Sylvester, I knew it.
I do not know what to believe anymore. We must report to the captain and then hasten back to Ishgard. Perhaps then we can attempt to make sense of all that has befallen us here today. Many things were saved, many lives were saved because of you. If that is what we can expect from Charlean astrology, I can see no reason why we shouldn't have knights trained in the field. I will recommend this to the Lord Commander. I suspect he will be pleased to see the day won with so few casualties. If you require our services again, you need only ask. Come, Gudrak. Let us hasten back. If you require our services again, you need only ask. Come, Gudrak. Let us hasten back to Ishgard.
I keep saying the same thing.
Moments ago, we received a missive from the commander of my father's guard. He thanked us again for our assistance in Hemlock and has formally requested that Lady Leviver train several of his knights in Charlean astrology. The vault, however, remained silent. I believe the silence had to be calculated. If the edict issued for Lady Leviver's extradition has arrived, they need only turn a blind eye to Sylvester's actions until he has spirited the lady from the realm.
and people simply forget she was ever here.
But we are not going to let that happen. Are we, my lady?
I am sorry, Jacques Cousteau, but I am no longer seeing how we cannot. Sylvester has my grandfather. He has threatened to take my mother, and he now has the one thing that could have saved them both, my father's journal. No, Jacques Cousteau, I cannot deny my fate any longer. I have done several readings since our return, and every one is the same. Discreet manipulation, submission. My path is clear. You, however, can carry on. Sylvester has no authority over you or you, Gudrak. See that my father's dream is fulfilled. Promise me that much.
I shall promise you that and more, my lady. Quimperin and I will see you to the place of meeting and do whatever possible to make certain this Sylvester keeps his word.
You know that by attending me, you put yourself in danger. He has shown he might not hesitate to kill anyone who stands in his way, and now that he knows I know of his involvement in my father's death. But still you will stand by my side in my last moment of yours. I do not deserve friends such as you. Kujak, Aether is the building block of all that surrounds us, meaning that everything is connected and everyone is closely attuned to that ether can, in a sense, link themselves with others. Feeling their joy, feeling their pain. Scholars of the soul call this empathy. Crystal gazers and card wizards call it the Wheel of Fortune. We astrologians call it the collective unconsciousness. To you, call whatever you call it, I feel the bond that you, both of you, thank you.
Yay, I get the shield. I'm gonna do it now. Do it. Bam! What the? And behold the power, the majesty, and the equivocal power.
Though there is no path for me to pick, if I do not give myself up, I will be putting the only family I have left in danger, and I cannot bear such a burden. You may accompany me if you wish, but know that by doing so, you'll put yourself in danger. For no reason other than your pride.
I am quite aware that the mere notion of accompanying Leveva to the answering quarters is bordering on absurd, but I cannot in good faith abandon our good friend in our time of need, not after all we have been through, and I am joyed to see that you have come to the same conclusion as well.
You two are foolish, but I will not trade friends such as you for all the gold in the Aram Vale.
But there is no gold in Ironvale. My lady, may I ask you to entertain a second option? You said that your father's journal contained a document which impeaches Sylvester and Ruffin's murder. And I fully understand the enormity of it. But what if Sylvester still has yet to lay eye on the document? Supposedly he only took the diary to provoke you. If we could somehow retrieve it before you board his airship,
then we would have a bargaining chip of our own. But this man is the leader of the Bibliotex. Their sole purpose in life is the hoarding of knowledge of course, he reads the diary and knowing Sylvester, the document would have been set to flame the moment he discovers it. Unless we told him that there was another document, one that I removed from the diary to have examined, one that was not in the diary when he stole it. Of course, there is no such page, but it would be easy enough to draft something up from memory of what I saw, something that would appear official from the distance. It just might work, though this is anything. There is always the chance that he may simply attempt to take the document by force. Were that to happen, we would be fortunate to escape with our lives. Sylvester is a formidable astrologian. Some say he even possesses the power to stop time.
But I thought those were only... No, we mustn't think that. There is still time left after the scheduled meeting in quick quarters. Lady Levever's plan is all we have. If we are to save both her and her family, we must act and trust that the stars will guide us to victory.
See what they have to say. Scheiße. Let us go.
What happened here?
This is where my people lived, where my father was born and raised, where he became an astrologian, where he took his first steps onto the path that led us all here. He was not a Charlene, not even Huron. He was an Eorzean, like Jacques Cousteau and Quinn Perrin. Even you, Gudrak.
I have no idea what I am.
Die on 15 oh god. Die on 15 summers have come and gone since I last stepped foot on the paths of contemplation. Yet this place appears as if it hasn't been inhabited for centuries.
Nature is the greatest leveler, Jacques. She provides us with what we need, but when we are done with it, she is quick to take back what it is, and always has been. Rightfully hers. There is still time before Sylvester is to arrive. I would like to take a walk to see where my father lived. Just know that I tend to tread the same ground as he may grant my mind peace.
Well, that me might. Then might I suggest the rooftop gardens directly to the south of here?
Your father and I spent many a nights there gazing up at the stars and prattling on about our dreams into the small hours. Is where he first told me of your mother and your birth mother, not the aunt who cared for you after Lady Brady died in labor and the child she was carrying.
Not all of the conversations Rufin and I had here were pleasant. He was a fierce spirit, who, once an idea had filled his head, would make it his whole life, regardless of how outlandish it was. Reintroducing Charlian astrology to Aerzia was one such idea. I was against it at first, knowing firsthand how traditionalist the people of my steady state was. But your father overwhelmed me with his passion, and not long before I too found myself a disciple of his vision. What happened here?
I wonder if my father knew the day that I would be here standing under this same sky he did. Did he know that he would have a daughter who was as stubborn as he? A daughter who put her life and the lives of those she loved in danger because of an unfulfilled dream? I think he did, and I think if he were here now, he would be proud. Proud that I at least tried. Proud that I did not let fate control me, but that I rather walked hand in hand with the fate down a path my father left. Not only for me, but for all those who would carry in their hearts the same dream.
I believe he would be as well, Lady Neveva. Though I do not fully realize it until recently, these past moons, it has been as if Rufin was here by my side. Once again, the passion, the stubbornness, the talent. I do not think he would stand idly by as Sylvester had his way, as I believe. Neither
Should we? As you say, Jacques, I know I have been hard on you, but it's only because you're an competent astrologian with an aversion to training. Not because you were anything but a good man and a good friend. Now, let us see that the stars have in mind for us today.
Ah, scheiße. See something real quickly. Companion. Pretty sure I got something new. Sovereign. Oh, it's only one.
Fate. Fate is but a suggestion. Remember that. You may keep your readings to yourself, no offense, my lord, but the only thing that shall be guiding me today is my obligation to Lady Leveva. That and my blade.
Get back here, chimkin. Stupid chimkin. Sylvester is a man. Sylvester is not a man to be late. He'll be here.
Oh, ever so predictable, Leveva. I am sorry to inform you, there has been a change of plans. There will be no returning to your homeland, no tearful reunion with your grandfather, no trial, only a sentence, and the sentence shall be carried out here by my hand. You see, after reading your father's diary, it became clear that you and your wretched friends know too much. You will not believe how long I have been searching for that document. The last one that connected me to your father's unfortunate accident. I tracked down and had all the others destroyed, but the one eluded me for almost 2 decades.
The last?
Jean Kudrak, it appears we are left with but a single path. There is only one, my lady, and we shall see it to the end.
Oh, gravity! Fire first. Light speed.
Wind, like the wind.
Awful.
Wait, if you wish to see your grandfather live, you cannot kill me. That was never my intention, Severus. No, I only wish to ask a few simple favors. The first being to return my father's diary. I will not send any word back to the old world, and will send word back to the old world to have my grandfather released immediately. And finally, you will return to Shai and report to the form that I have disappeared and am presumed dead. Fail to do these things, I'll tell the form all I know of your involvement in my father's death. I doubt they will be as generous as or merciful with their mercy as I. And what? You shall remain here and continue to spread our knowledge across the worm-eating realm like it was sweet cream butter? You know not what you do. The barbarians of this realm have shown that they can only use knowledge to destroy each other. They corrupt it, they lessen it, and they forget it. They never once had shown they are worthy of knowledge. They so defile. And yet you will still give it to them. Very well, I shall do as you ask. But know that the form is ever listening, ever watching. Shall you continue to your skeptics here in Ishkar, they will find out. And they will send others until they are successful where I have failed. Then you would better make certain that they don't. You are a powerful man who also happens to be the master of lies and deception. I pray the task should not prove too difficult, and if it does, then I can always show them the manner of man you truly are. I do not think there will be any need for that. Severus, however wicked, is not a fool. He will not sacrifice what he has spent the past 2 decades building over a girl he, even when he begged to cobbles, sees an inferior. Especially if you had offered him a means of accomplishing it without causing him to face. His pride, of course, would ache, but it's an art a little wine cannot cure. You're right, Jacques Stenner. Something I never thought I would admit, at least out loud. So that this means you will remain at the sea and continue your teachings? Of course I will. There is the pending contract with House Under my obligations to the convectors and the hunters of Tailfeather. And then of course there is the matter of your complete training. If memory serves me, you have still opened half of the Heaven's gates.
What the?
Truth be told, I have no idea how we survived the battle. Thinking of it a moment. Sylvester could stop time. Perhaps the fate has a stronger pull than I imagined. Or perhaps I merely evolved into a all-powerful astrologian, likely the former.
You may recall a time where I pulled my lord aside and spoke of how I did not trust my master's heathen magics. Well, I still do not trust his. But Lady Leviva's and yours. A man my age should not have lasted a half bell in that last battle. Hells, I still cannot believe we fended off those pirates in Limsa. Minsa, I could not have survived this long without you, Lord Gudrek. Should you ever have need of my sword, you need only ask.
Well, things did not come completely as planned, but we arrived at a fate intended for us nonetheless. Now the question is, what do we do with this fate we have been granted? I believe this warrants longer readings, but perhaps after we have a bit to eat. Ishkar!
Gudrek, you're just in time to greet the Athenium's newest member. May I present you with Lord Rufin?
Why the surprise? But I believe I know the answer. You sense are doubtless revealing from from having witnessed poor Lady Leviva's tragic end in the Netherlands. Contrary to popular belief, I was not murdered at all, but merely on a long and winding journey that has finally brought me back to Ishgard, so that I may teach the secrets of Charlatan astrology once again. I mean to show the people that fate is a path that is not to be walked in darkness, that the stars can be used to light the way. And my first lesson, those who oppose this celestial guidance shall find those foes burning on and on without end.
Kazans!
Before I begin, I'm gonna talk to everybody.
Lord Rufin will soon find her disguise. Lord Rufin will soon find that her disguise has not fooled anyone. A quick cut in it, Charles, doesn't change the fact that her hair is still purple.
Do you believe that the observatorium has requested the drafting of new constellation-based celestial charts to supply those who have used for the past 4 centuries? Of course you would. It was you and Lord Jacques Cousteau who started this chaos. I have been hasty in my judgment of Charlatan astrology, as it appears more than simple fortune telling. In between the training of the house during their nights, my lady, Lord Rufin has been traveling the countryside, visiting camps and doling out succor for those, spreading the word of Charlatan astrology, not without actually saying a word. And Lord Jacques Cousteau still comes in after the zenith, the sixth bell. But there is time I catch him practicing his spell too when he believes no one is watching. Perhaps I was wrong to judge them, or perhaps I was wrong to judge Charlatan astrology. The Athenian headmaster was in training in Charlatan astrology. But I did deserve this fate, and don't you tell me Charlatan astrology and show me the answer. Alright, that'll be it for me today. In almost 2 hours, which is, I wanted to go shorter than that. But I should name these things a little better so that people find it easier instead of making them long-winded, weird names. Anyways, thank you for watching. And if you're watching the VOD, thank you for watching the VOD. If you can, come to the live stream. I start between 8 and 11. Go for roughly 2 to 5 hours, sometimes 6. Anyways, thank you. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time it is for you. Goodbye.